Good morning. So wonderful to have you with us. We are a part of Medium Mindfulness, a part of Morning Coffee here on Radio Vision Network. And today we have this incredible show in store for you. So what we're doing is we are going to have a live demonstration of medium services. And what that entails, of course, is another person and, of course, those on the other side. What I've determined as a medium for the last 6 years and over 6,000 readings is that there is an incredible process going on that many of us are experiencing because we're asking for those to give us a sign here on earth. And it happens all the time for all of us. First, yes, you have to believe in that. And secondly, even if you don't, you'll have your own experiences, and many people don't know who to share that with. I, fortunately, have a beautiful practice of meeting with thousands of you, and I hear it all the time. But what I want you to do is have some more experiences in seeing how this process is done so then you can hear your own messaging about your own life and your own guidance. Please understand that many of us are walking around all the time. I want a sign. Show me a sign. Am I on the right path in my life? What is my purpose? So there are real tools and techniques to use. One of them is meditation to discover those answers. So that's why we're here today. We're here with Cheryl, and we're here with Mary, and we're going to take in a natural process of mediumship services. So, good morning, girls.
Good morning.
Great. So, the way that we're going to work with this, I'll describe to you what is going to happen, so for all of you viewers, you can begin to understand how this process works. So, you and I haven't met before, but that's all okay. We have the process here to support the system of getting to some information that can be most helpful to you. When this process occurs, it's usually best in the best environments, is in a serene setting. We can't always be on top of a mountain, and we can't always be in a yoga studio to have these situations happen, but we can create that energy because that energy is everywhere. So here we are today on a studio at Radio Vision Network, and we're going to create that ambiance and also the possibility and the pure potential of loving guidance to come through. So with your help and your support, and I do suggest often in sessions when the two people do not know each other, that you can support each other in that. The reason for that is because we are all at some level encouraging each other to open up to create greater love, because many of us are walking around without that. We're protecting ourselves all the time for things that could happen or should happen, and really that's not the optimum way to connect our mind, body, and spirit. And now it's a little bit hip to do that. You know, a lot of people have gotten into their bodies. They understand it from a physical level. And I'm going to tell you that for sure, it's the mind that's trapping us. So how can we work with the mind? My suggestion is that through medium services, you'll begin to understand your mind better. And then you have greater potential to co-create your reality. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit to just indicate, because this show will be about mindfulness as well as medium services. But I'm going to backtrack and say we're not in complete control. We're just not. We want to be, but we can't be. But we can participate at some level and choose where to place our thoughts. I'm saying that many of you are worrying all the time, therefore not leaving any room for any openness. Is that true? Does that hit you well?
Starting already.
Okay, good. Good.
Thank
so
you.
There's no worrying about this whatsoever. I find it magnificent and exciting to understand what kind of message you could get in just a few moments here today. And hopefully it will be that which will serve you and open you up and create greater love and balance in any type of separation that you might have with anybody on the other side. So are we good to go?
Yes.
Okay, great. So when I come to you with some information, the way that they talk is a multitasking gesture. Because there isn't a lot of time in this situation, they may multitask. So those on the other side may be saying something to you that's making sense about somebody that's in your life currently, like a name. You could say the name Joe, right? And Joe can be on the other side, but he can also be Joe Jr., and he can be here as well. So those types of things are really...
Starting already?
I don't know. We'll see. So that can be a dual edge, right? So they're speaking to two entities, two soul beings. So the language is playful, because I am. There is no bad news, so we can take that out of the door. I don't know what bad news could be, because if there is, you're worrying about it, and there should be no worries, right? So we're going to dive in a little bit. So Cheryl, you're here willingly, openly. You are a volunteer. Is that true? You're not subjected to anything particular, right? Okay. On your own volition.
Yep.
So, and you're here and you wanted to get in contact with, not by name, but just by relation. Who is it that you feel as though you can hear from?
I would love to hear from my aunt,
Okay.
who passed recently.
Okay.
Love to hear from my grandmother, who's a good friend of ours. I mean, just a few people.
Okay. That's great. So, and then Mary, you're here and you wanted to get,
My sister,
okay.
she recently passed also.
Okay. And is there anybody else that you wanted to contact?
My parents.
Always?
Always.
Good. Okay. So we're going to dive into that. Again, if you feel that some of the information is between the two of you, I was joking before, don't aggressively say, that's mine! You know, this is getting to be very trendy. And so some people are participating and saying, that's my energy. They're getting very possessive about it. But actually, it's everybody's. And we begin to see each other in all things. So we might all hear things today that make perfect sense to you, viewers, even at home, that tell you and teach you, because that is all that they're trying to do on the other side. We are trying to learn. And what we're learning is self-realization. And this is part of it. To know that I have the potential to reach to your loved ones. I'm no different than anybody watching or anybody here. So that just tells us that this can be the evolution of consciousness. There is no ego strapped in this at all. So we're just going to just drop down into all these titles and things that we have and kind of get real with each other into the sacred self that we know we can be. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to ask that we take a few minutes of just quietness so we can just drop the shoulders and lift the chest and lift the heart. You can close the eyes for just a moment and begin to take the inhale and the exhale. So beautiful that we have the incense, the candles, and the support system here. So Cheryl, moving rather quickly with you, I need to just ask you, actually today, did you bring a part of your mother's jewelry or something? Are you wearing anything of your mother's right now? Just say, and if you have it in your bag or anything, are you bringing anything of hers with you?
My mother?
Yeah, and your mother's here, and I understand that.
Yep.
But I'm feeling that your grandmother, is it your mother's mother, your maternal?
My maternal grandmother is
Okay,
passed.
so she's telling me that there is something, even if it's a ring that's been passed down in the family. Are there any rings or anything of object that you're bringing with you? Do you carry something in your wallet that is even?
Of my mom's?
It could be of your grandmother's
Of
too,
my
but I'm
grandmother's.
just saying
Oh,
they're
man.
telling me that you have something of hers. Can you just relate to what that is, please?
With me today? No, but I have a lot of things of my nanny's.
Okay, and are you double sure about that? Because I stand
I have
behind everything that I say. So I'm thinking that there's actually something that you carry around with you in your wallet even regularly. And if it's not, it's not. Here's the other thing, Cheryl. Never need you to fit a square peg into a round hole. So I'm just working with those energies too. Can you also tell me, and you'll think about it, you'll probably email me later, which always happens. It's like,
I'll
oh
look in
my
my handbag and
God.
find it.
Right. But it almost seems like maybe it's a medal or something that you carry around with you, like in your car, in your pocketbook. Are you sure?
I'm not sure.
I do.
Oh. That's good. Okay.
It's
and
metal, it's a cross.
That's it. But is that your grandmother's? Your mother's?
It was my mother's, and then she passed 27 days later. My dad passed, so it went from my mother to my dad, and I have it.
And you carry it around with you all
Yes,
the time?
it's a metal cross. It's a
Oh,
crucifix.
that's what I need. Okay, that's fine. Thank you for taking that. You're playing this really well, right? Thank you, because it's really a lot of pressure sometimes when somebody's sitting there saying, I need to say yes. You do never need to say yes, right?
Yeah.
This is about just understanding what it is for you. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper. I'm going to come back to you, thanks, okay? Also need to ask you, is there any like Millie's or M names? Is it a Marie or an M name that's going on here? Like almost like a Mimi, like a double name. Can you just tell me if that's somebody here or somebody on the other side, please?
My aunt is Mary.
Your aunt is Mary. Oh, is the aunt that you're missing is Mary?
Yes.
Okay, we're there. Hang on, please. Thank you. That was a hit. Please understand here also, Cheryl, that there's somebody with L's around her. Who is that? Is that a daughter or double L's? Is that a Leslie or a Lisa or an Elizabeth? I need something that's a common name that is around your Aunt Mary. Go to her children and go to her children's children also,
Billy.
please. The two L's is in Billy. Is that her son?
Her only son.
Her only son. Thank you very much. Okay. And have you been, actually this is the aunt asking that. I hope that's okay.
That's wonderful.
She's actually asking you if you've been in contact with Billy even since she's passed, and that's
Absolutely.
important. Okay, so the number 10 is coming up. Do you understand that at all? Is that even October?
She died on March 10th.
She died on March 10th. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is actually interesting. What's happening here is that she would prefer to get a message that she loves you. She
But
also
she
loves
wants
her
to talk
son.
to them. I know that. I know that about her. Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Oh yeah, it's her
Yeah.
baby.
But the funny thing is that she would have to know that that's about you, because so it's not insulting, but it's a way to get a message to her son. So that's been a fascinating process that's been happening with medium services, is that they're coming to you because you're a carrier of light,
Right.
and you can reach and understand all that. Otherwise, too many of us are looking down all the time and not looking up. And I'm also going to tell you that they don't just reside up, they reside all around us. So there is ways in which they get to us on a daily basis, by breaking dishes or turning the lights on and off.
I had hoped for that. I had asked her in my mind. Like,
Okay, good. So we'll
I'll
actually
tell
ask
Billy,
her.
you know.
What's that?
I'd asked her before I came here. I'll tell Billy.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's fascinating about is that they will absolutely go right to you for things that happened right before you got here. Okay. I'm also going to just tell you something similar about a broken zipper. So did you just break a zipper on something, or a jacket that didn't zip right, or you got the zipper stuck? Sometimes they're telling me that for something that might have happened here.
I can't remember anything this morning or today.
Okay, go back to her actual funeral and her services. Was there something that you put on that you wanted to bring or wear? And it might actually even be
Goodness.
Billy.
I wouldn't know about him, but me, I have terrible memory, so I don't
Okay,
remember what I wore.
then I'm going to
actually.
move on, and I'm going to tell you what she's telling me. Okay?
She
so-
probably knows.
Yeah, she does. And so do I. Okay? What we're noticing now is that you don't. And I didn't mean to say that about you. I'm just
Okay.
saying it's all people. When they come into the session, they're, so fearful. And I'm not saying that you are
Right.
fearful, but not really understanding, because sometimes we're focused on such a big deal.
Right.
And sometimes I know that you are not hearing it clearly sometimes because you forget the names of your children. Not you, but everyone.
Oh, I do.
So that's fine. So I need to go back to Billy and the broken zipper. So if
Okay.
there's something very interesting about that, I'm going to leave it with you, because
Okay.
it's not something that you can confirm.
Right.
But she is actually talking about that on the day of her passing,
Okay.
getting ready for the services or something. There was like a broken zipper, and it was almost like he, fortunately, using that metaphor, unfortunately for the passing, of like, that's broken too. He sincerely feels broken because of the loss of his mother, and a single child would feel that because this is his link, obviously, and his mother too. So she's asking that having littler to do with the broken zipper, but more to do with his broken heart. Okay, so I need to go further along with you, and thank you for giving him that. The message is that how much she's around him. I'd like to actually give a further example of how she is with him. Do you know if he drives like a blue truck or a blue car? Or did she have that? Do you know anything about a blue, a navy, a dark car, or a blue color?
I am not sure. I thought his car was more silver, but I could be wrong. That they just bought the granddaughter a car, and it might be that color. I don't remember perfectly, but I know it was dark.
Yeah, so this
I saw a
is
picture quick.
yeah, this is wonderful. This is great because this is how it really does go, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not
And then
positive,
what
but-
happens is that I get a lot of emails. I'm like, it's a blue car, and they
Yeah.
send me a picture.
It might be.
But this is perfect. That's fine.
Mhm.
You do what you're doing. But I'm just saying what she's saying. There's further messaging along, please. So, and it's actually to your mother. So can you tell me if there's any J's around you in your family line, please? Who's the J?
My husband's John. My son's John.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So I'm also hearing John. Now that would sound simple, but you might be calling that out a lot.
I call John. I
Oh,
call the little
oh,
one.
that's
John,
why.
John.
Oh, that's why. Okay, thank you.
That's what his nickname is
Yeah.
since he's been born.
I love it.
Mhm.
I love it. Okay, great. Oh, so sweet. So your aunt knew your children
Oh,
as well, of
yes.
course, right? So what she's doing is saying hello to them. This is very important. A lot of times they do a roll call, so they'll name all of the children. And do you have a daughter as well?
Mhm.
Right. Okay. So and any A's in the name around the family line, please. Maybe like an Arlene or an Anna. Can you tell me what that's about, please? Just take a moment, breathe, and no pressure.
Starting with an A.
Yeah. Go
thinking.
to your mother.
I'm thinking.
Okay.
My mother has a sister, Arlene.
Oh, I did say Arlene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh. Your mother has a sister Arlene, because I'm thinking it's Aunt Arlene.
That's
That's
my
your
Aunt
Aunt Arlene. Okay, well maybe we're moving over here now.
I didn't mean to hijack your reading.
Yes,
I'm
and this
so
is-
sorry.
It's okay.
This is not a game show whatsoever. I mean, much of it is seriously, sensitively experienced, and that's what's going on. But before I get to Aunt Arlene, and before I get to, there was something else that came over on our side too beforehand. There was a message.
Oh, the medal.
The medal. Okay, that's fine.
Crucifix.
I need to be with you for just one moment because she's kind of hanging on a little bit. So she was extremely thorough. I'm going to tell you that. And so she wants me, she keeps pulling me to finish things. And she's saying happy birthday. So it seems like there's somebody's birthday in your family that is just recently passed or coming up. And she's the kind of aunt that never forgot somebody's birthday. Is she that kind of aunt?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's not common. I don't remember anybody's birthday sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Too much in there. So let's think about that, saying happy birthday, and also how much she can be around. She will be around on the holidays. You will actually find, oh, that's interesting, like a special ornament of last year that actually looks like a house somehow. It has a house in it. Maybe it's a picture, or it actually looks like a house, and it's something of hers or a reminder of her. Or this is something that Billy has that he wants.
That's what I would think. I mean, I don't know for sure. But
Yeah, but I think so. I think he's actually going to be giving you an ornament to put on your tree in memory of your aunt. Beautiful. Thank you for taking all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So in essence, what she's saying is she'll be with you for the holidays. Wow. But
That's
she's really,
amazing.
she's also with you other
Always.
days. Wherever your heart roams. Okay. Thank you for taking all of that. So Mary, I'm with you. We're going to take a few breaths here on the messaging that's important and significant to your life. Oh, wow, right. So what's happening? Okay, so September important to you at all? Related to your sister at all? Or is the number 9? Do you know what that is?
I'm not sure.
Okay, let's stay open to it. I'm hearing very clearly, so your mother and your father are actually with your sister. And is there any S's involved here at all?
Our last name is Shirley.
Your family name is Shirley?
Yes, maiden name.
Oh, right. So parents are both showing up with your sister. You've got another sister and another brother here. Okay, we know it's a Carol. And is there a B name at all involved
Billy,
with your
my
brother?
Billy.
Oh, you have a brother, Billy,
I do.
too. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And my sister's, there's a sister's birthday's coming up, and you were reading her, but there again, I wasn't sure if that was her birthday.
Oh.
This week.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, fine. No worries. So you're talking about your sister that just
The
passed.
deceased, yeah, her birthday's next week.
Okay, thank you. Oh,
So you mentioned that earlier for her, and I'm
Oh.
sitting here going,
Yeah.
she did not just say
yes,
that.
that can happen. That can happen. So thank you for just being aware of it. You know, these are different circumstances, but we're flying with it. So yes, I need to make the stronger connection that your sister, who really lived a challenging life, you're well aware of that, right? So her energy is such that it is, wow, okay. Would you understand if she said to you the relief that she's been experiencing by actually being on the other side rather than battling through her life here? So can you explain that?
She struggled for many years with long-term drug and alcohol abuse, and she lost her legs last year.
Oh my.
And she struggled. This last year of her life was horrendous. She was in a facility, and it didn't bode well for her addiction problem.
Okay. I am sorry for all of that. There is this greater guidance and like this beautiful embrace of higher consciousness, God consciousness, spirit. You know, we all believe in a lot of different things. Yours is a very strong consciousness of religion, and it's beautiful because it works with you and it serves you. And you have been a leader of that, so can you explain that to me? Are you leading in thought processes of religion and spirituality? What is that?
I went to the Holy Land about 3 years ago, and as a result, I returned and became a certified catechist, and I'm a lector and a Eucharistic minister.
Okay, that's called spiritual bingo on many levels. Right. Okay, so this is just an admission, a confirmation, and a validation that this is who you are.
It is.
More importantly, the information, rather than it just being your parents and your sister on the other side, it's really critical to find out what are they talking about. And so that was a huge shift of awareness for who you are becoming and who you are in your life. And we do that with our lives anyway, with our siblings, to understand who am I. And sometimes if one is creative, then that means that you can't be creative, but it really isn't that. So you did have a family of some that were struggling at a deeper level.
Yes.
You yourself might have been struggling at some times. All of us were at some point. And trying to understand, but it sounds like this religion and your faith and your devotion really got you through
Yes.
quite a bit.
Yes.
Therefore, you're able to teach from that place, which is beautiful, because any type of religion or spirituality, you cannot believe it until you experience it. So this is what they're saying to me about you, is that you've experienced this, and this is why you can share it from a fundamental foundation of saying, this is how I battled through, or this is where I am. And you appear very, very light. Both of you have great auras, so you're teaching at some level. So are you, even if you're not a formal teacher. This is the ways in which we can be, when our hearts are open to even our own path and we're not scared to tread forward, and we feel the faith and the love inside of us, whether you get it from a tree, another person, or your God. The thing is that it gives us the strength to move forward. So this is a non-denominational type of situation here, but what we're saying is it's really important to have some devotion and faith to something. So what I'm hearing from both of you too, and particularly Mary right now in this situation, your faith is to something larger than yourself for sure, but it's
Huge.
also deeply rooted in those who are in your family.
Yes.
So this has been quite the challenge with your sister and now your brother, because is there a lot of worries and concerns for your brother as well?
Yes.
So your parents come back to you, and yes, we can all paint a beautiful life on the other side, because many of us are struggling more here than they are over there.
Well,
Right?
that's good to know.
Right? Because we have these bodies that need upkeep. We have these lives that we think we need to get to, and we are detail-oriented, so we're very, very busy. And sometimes we stay so busy that in the pause, it defaults into worry, when actually the pause should default into support and love. So these are the reasons why we're sharing this show, experiences, and conversation and spiritual dialogue, so we can all understand how to uplift ourselves, because if you're hoping that somebody else is going to do that for you, it's not happening, because we're all concerned about ourselves. But when you take the time and you dig deep enough to understand yourself, you begin to know everybody else, especially if it's coming from a non-egoic point of reference. So it feels like both of you are doing that, and that happens in the nurturing and the nurturing of family, naturally, cause and concern and love and unconditional love with your family. It's all another when you're able to reach out into the community and open yourself up so broadly to be a keeper of light. So I'm going to go back to Cheryl for a moment, because at some level you must have done that. Even though we're talking about family, it was an aunt. And you are opened up enough that you can now deliver that message to her son, Billy. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm also going to Mary, and the coincidence here is that you are now in a place of reaching beyond your family to people who may be struggling at some point in their life, but you're getting a lot of sense and source of strength from those that are on the other side. And I'm going to remind you, your sister, her name is Susan. Is there a Susan? Or what's your sister's name? Not the one that's here.
The one over there.
The one that passed.
Patricia.
Patricia. Okay. So Patricia is telling me sincerely, that she wants to work with you. So when somebody hears that, when you might not have had the most symbiotic relationship here on earth,
We were different.
yeah, well, you could be, and you should be, because she's made you and you've made her in some way. But there can't be guilt or responsibility attached to it, okay? Because we all know we really do want to give to each other. We really do want to help each other, but really we can only help ourselves.
I really wanted to help her when she was here. I'm 28 years clean and sober, and she just couldn't get there.
Yes. So, when you speak, speak loud, because those are sincere words that you need to hear, and others do as well. So, I had no idea that was the situation, but this is why you're being able to speak at such a profound level to help other people, perhaps
I wish I
get
could
clean.
have helped her.
Right, to get clean and sober, right.
Yeah.
So There's a few more moments of messaging, and then we're going to take a break soon. But hold on, because I feel like there's simply more. So, yeah, so there's also a Joseph Jr. Do you have a Joseph Jr.?
It's my son.
Okay, great. And we also have a daughter here that's strapped to the connection that's here on Earth. And I'm seeing the V again.
It's Veronica.
Okay,
my
perfect.
daughter.
Okay, and there's no other children. Is that true?
Correct.
Okay, great. Taking the deeper breath on the awareness here. Yeah, so we're also talking about making changes in the house, and I keep seeing a paintbrush. So are you doing any painting?
I'm about to paint my bedroom.
Good, good. So the paintbrush comes in because there's also a way of working with the energies in our house to make the changes that we're looking for in our lives. So feng shui principles, not going to discuss all that now, but it is true that when you want to make changes in your life, you've got to start here and make the changes in your heart, and then it plays itself out in your life, even something as simple as painting a room a different color. This is all possible and very probable. I'm going to take a few moments to explain what it is that we just experienced before we go to break. Any comments about from either one of you? That's more important.
I'm just pretty wowed right now at what you picked up on.
Thank you, Mary.
Speechless.
Cheryl, your experience, your real feel?
I'm just so happy that she, we know she's okay because she died so inexplicably. Like, we don't know why or how or so.
Yes.
At least we know she's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. And when you just said that, what I got is another hit. So from your aunt, what she indicated is that she had a lot of faith. So her last breath was not just, she's saying it's a pause, but that's another show, another time. But what that pause is one of, it shows itself in serenity when somebody takes that last breath, but they have faith that their last breath is in God's arms. She must have had that at some level, and she wasn't as surprised as maybe everybody else was. So maybe she was living secretly a little bit more about knowing that she wasn't doing well, and not talking about that as much. Is that possible?
It's possible, yeah. She would downplay anything that was wrong with her.
She would downplay.
She wouldn't tell anybody, right?
Right. So that's what I'm hearing, and that's more food for thought. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what a pleasure. Thank you so much for being with us here on Medium Mindfulness, as well as Morning Coffee, part of Radio Vision Network, to bring peace into people's lives, to bring spiritual dialogue into people's lives, because it can make a difference. So many of us are having those conversations anyway. We're here to just have them live. So thank you for all of your attention. And we'll break for a few moments, but we have another session coming. So let that happen. Meet us on the other side, not that side, this side, and we'll talk to you in a few moments.
Choosing the right fence for your home or business is an important decision to make. Choose a Nello fence for peace of mind. Our family has manufactured and installed beautiful maintenance-free fence for over 50 years. We provide vinyl, aluminum, and wood fence in a